Have you ever looked at your older cat and just wondered what's going on in their head? We all have. But what if those little quirks, the things they do that make you smile or scratch your head, are actually them trying to tell you something really important about their health? Well, let's get into it, because today we are going to learn how to decode the secret health signals our aging cats are sending us all the time.
You know, it's a question that pretty much every single person with an older cat asks themselves at some point. Your furry friend, who you know so well, starts acting, well, a little off. And it is so easy to just write it off as, oh, they're just getting old. But that simple explanation, it can often hide what's really going on. The truth is, these changes are usually clues to real, treatable health conditions.
So, what kind of things are we talking about here? Well, maybe it's that howling in the middle of the night that just seems to come out of absolutely nowhere. Or maybe you've caught your cat just staring at a blank wall, totally zoned out. Sometimes they might even seem to get lost on their way to the food bowl in a house they've known for years. Or their whole personality just flips. Your super cuddly cat is suddenly cranky, or your independent cat is now stuck to you like glue. And of course, the big one, suddenly not using the litter box. Do any of these ring a bell? Because they're all pieces of a much bigger puzzle. Okay, so when we start seeing these kinds of behaviors, our investigation almost always points to one prime suspect. It's a condition that's a lot like Alzheimer's disease in people. Now, hold on. It's not the only possibility, and we're definitely going to look at the other suspects. But this one is so common, we have to start here. The official name for it is Feline Cognitive Dysfunction, or FCD for short. And what it is really is a gradual, progressive breakdown of the brain's functions. We're talking about a real decline in their memory, their ability to learn things, even just their general awareness of what's going on around them. This is a legitimate medical disorder, not just your cat being a little senile.
And this is what's absolutely fascinating, just how similar FCD is to human Alzheimer's. I mean, on a biological level, it's practically the same thing. In both human and cat brains with these conditions, you see these sticky proteins called beta amyloid forming plaques between the brain cells. And at the same time, another protein, tau, forms tangles inside the cells. So what happens? Well, these plaques and tangles basically act like roadblocks, gumming up the works and blocking the critical communication signals inside the brain. And don't think this is some rare thing. It is incredibly common. Nearly a third of all cats between the ages of 11 and 14 show at least one sign of FCD. 1/3. And get this, that number jumps to over 50% for cats 15 and older. So the main thing to take away here is if you have a senior cat, the chances are really high that this is something you're going to come across. But here's where the detective work gets a little tricky. Before we can say for sure that it's FCD, we have to look at a whole lineup of other common culprits. See, a lot of other diseases that affect older cats can look a whole lot like FCD. They have the same symptoms. And this is exactly why you absolutely have to get your vet involved to solve the case. And this really shows you the challenge we're up against. Just look at how much these symptoms overlap. That howling at night, yeah, it's a classic sign of FCD, but it's also a hallmark of hyperthyroidism. Going outside the litter box could be cognitive, sure, or it could be a UTI, kidney problems, or even diabetes. You see, a single symptom is just one clue. It is not the whole story. Your vet has to rule out this entire lineup. Let's zoom in on one of the most common imposters, hyperthyroidism. Basically, an overactive thyroid gland floods their system with hormones, and it sends their metabolism into total overdrive. They can be eating like crazy, but still losing weight. They might seem antsy and hyperactive. And yes, they often start vocalizing a lot more. It's a true master of disguise, mimicking several key signs of FCD. Then there's another major suspect, diabetes. It affects about 1 in 200 cats, and it's especially common in our indoor cats who might be a little overweight and not as active. Things like drinking a ton more water and, as a result, urinating a lot more can easily be mistaken for something else. So it's another one that your vet needs to rule out with some simple tests. Okay, so with all these different possibilities, you might be wondering, where do I fit in? Well, you're not just a bystander in all of this.
You are the lead investigator. Honestly, your observations are the single most important piece of evidence in this entire process. And why is your role so important? Because cats are absolute masters of hiding when they're not feeling well. Think about it. In the wild, if you show any sign of weakness, you become somebody's lunch. That instinct is hardwired into our cats. Even the ones sleeping on a velvet pillow. They will actively hide pain and illness. That means by the time the symptoms are super obvious, the disease can be pretty advanced. So you, noticing the small changes, that is the first and most important line of defense. So how do you become that lead investigator? It really just comes down to gathering good intel for your vet. First, keep a simple log. When did the weird behavior start? How often is it happening? What's going on when it happens? Second, and this is huge, film the evidence. Pull out your phone. A short video of your cat being disoriented or making strange noises is worth 1,000 words to your vet. And third, track the vitals. Are they eating more or less, drinking more? What's going on in the litter box? This information is pure gold. Okay, so we've looked at the problem from all angles, but the story doesn't stop with a diagnosis. The most powerful part of this whole thing is what comes next, proactive care and management. This is where we can make a huge difference in our cat's future. The whole foundation of a long, healthy life for a cat really stands on 3 pillars. Number 1, nutrition. And we're talking about a diet that's right for them as the carnivores they are. Number 2, exercise, keeping their body moving. And number 3, enrichment, keeping their brain sharp and engaged. These aren't just nice little extras. They are absolutely essential. Let's really focus on nutrition for a second, because it is a total game changer. A diet that's low in carbohydrates and high in protein is key for keeping their blood sugar stable, which helps prevent or manage diabetes. It's also critical for keeping them at a healthy weight, and it supports good urinary health. You see, the right diet can help address several of the conditions we've been talking about. And this right here is the most important thing I want you to walk away with. Getting a diagnosis like FCD or another age-related disease can feel really scary, but it is not a hopeless situation, not at all. With you watching closely, a quick diagnosis from your vet, and smart management with diet and enrichment, you can seriously slow down these conditions and give your cat many, many more happy, comfortable years with you. So, the next time you see your senior cat staring off into space, or you hear that strange meow in the middle of the night, don't just brush it off. Pause. Look a little closer. Listen a little harder. Because the most important question you can ask is the one we'll leave you with today. What is your cat trying to tell you? The answer? Well, it could change everything.